Deutschland, and I guess he's living it up large. So obviously something has given him you know the freedom to go and hang out with the NATO Nazis. I don't know. I guess he's going to go. Have been hammered by Israel. So Israel movement going in Ukraine. I said, before Ukraine even, or before Russia even came into Ukraine, I said when, by the day, to the day, when they were going to come into Ukraine. And I said eventually they would take all of Ukraine, right? And they will. And Putin has even said that Ukraine is Russia, right? So, and it will be again, I promise you. So those Nazis that are there, they can either, make peace, which I highly doubt, and or die, or spend the rest of existence in Ukraine, which will be and maybe obliterated. Who knows? Now, that war is not going good for Ukraine, and that's because the United States is no longer supporting them. It's just coming from the other NATO countries, and that's not enough. It's not enough because Russia is steamrolling over that country right now, and it's easy work for them. Now, one of the things that is going wrong there is when Russia is like, okay, we're ready to give back the dead that we have, Ukrainian dead, and we want to trade for the Russian dead that you have. And so there's like a trade. So Russia has 12,000 and Ukraine has less than 1,000 or around 1,000 to do this trade. So that tells you right there the way things are going. And Ukraine says, no, we don't want them. Like, what? You don't want them? You know why they don't want them? Because when they come back, they have to pay the families. They have to pay the families for their loved ones that died, because that's the way it works. You fight in the military, you die, you get death pay, right? When you die, your family gets taken care of. They can't afford it. That's how bad it is in Ukraine. They don't even want the dead back because they know they got to pay. Very, very, that's so wrong on many different levels. All right. But the Ukrainians don't have much of a choice. So that's the way it is. They're forced into conscription, as we've seen many videos of where they come in and snatch people off the street, send them to the front lines under gunpoint, from what I'm hearing. And then they die up there. And then when they die, and the Russians roll through the lines and recover bodies, and try to get them back, Ukrainians don't want them. They want to say, oh, they're missing in action. We don't know where they're at, so they don't have to pay. So if you're missing in action, you'll be missing in action forever, right? So that's kind of the way things are rolling. That's just one example. The amount of territory that war, like I predicted, is definitely going to go badly for Ukraine, for the Nazis. And all those that are coming there to fight with the Nazis, because I guess they're Nazis too. All of those that are sending their money there, that are throwing it into a black hole, because these people steal that money anyway. You're going to find out. You're going to F around and you're going to find out, right? So that's where this is going right now. So karma's a bitch. Karma's a bitch, guys. So if you're supporting something that's evil, you guys that are flying Ukrainian flags still, I don't see them anymore. I haven't seen Ukrainian flags in a long time here in Florida, right? Maybe you're in an area where there's some still misled folks that are flying Ukrainian flags, maybe even giving money. They're giving money to evil, right? So that's bottom line on that. All right, so I don't think they're going to Russia. That is, I don't think they're going to get involved. Is China going to take Taiwan? Posturing, maybe. I don't see it. I don't see it coming. Are there going to be terrorist attacks in the United States? There is that possibility. Something is going to happen. There probably will be some terrorist attacks, but they'll be in support of the Democrats, unfortunately. When the Democrats are, pushed against the wall, which they're being pushed against the wall right now. In the Senate right now, they're probably going to have to vote. Some of them are going to have to vote for this bill, this big, beautiful bill, BBB, Build Back Better, right? In your face. Build Back Better. Yeah, how about big, beautiful bill? And so that is what the Trump administration has been doing, has been countering the deep state over and over and over again. So this takedown of Iran is a counter of the deep state, because the deep state was trying to build up a nice little military there with atomic weapons so they could threaten the world. And it didn't work out. It didn't work out because fortunately, Trump and the White Hats basically had this all planned out over the last 4 years. And then they came in and now they're just knocking the hell out of the Democrats and the leftists and the deep state around the world, right? So we're going to continue to see that. Like Lindsey Graham. Yeah, he's deep state. He's a rhino, Republican in name only. Now, I mean, I think the entire political realm will go away as our consciousness, as we the people stand up. We don't need it. Now, President Trump, as you guys know, has never taken a paycheck. So when the Constitution was first written and it was received from the Iroquois Indians, Benjamin Franklin had that for years. And when they're trying to figure out, well, how we're going to do this, and Benjamin Franklin said, I've been trying to do this for a decade. Let's do this. This American Indians. They have the best plan. They've been here for thousands of years, and of course we took their land, but or most of it. And so he basically brought that in, and it's the Iroquois, Constitution. And they said, if anyone gets paid, then you will lose your country. And that's what we've seen. We've seen a lot of these people, the Pelosi's and, Eye Patch McCain, all right, guy from Texas, all right. So like McCain, at one point, Trump says, no name. So when he said no name, you knew he was talking about John McCain, right? So no name. So we'll call him Patch McCain. Look it up if you don't know who I'm talking about. I'm not going to say his name. So if you see these people getting rich, like Ocasio-Cortez is getting rich. She came into Washington, D.C., and she couldn't afford anything, and then magically she's a millionaire. How about that? On a $100,000 a year salary, or $150,000, whatever they make. So it is a lot of scamming that's going on with these people, and these people are going to be replaced, right? We don't need them. We can govern ourselves, and we're going to have some form of government, which basically, when we get down to it, there is nothing. There is no government. There's just somebody that signs, some papers and makes sure that, things keep rolling along. And we have committees and so forth. We, the people, have committees, and this is what we want to vote on. And we have people that vote on that. They're in positions where they can vote. They're not positions of power, but positions where they vote. And that's where things are going to go in the future. So that's going to be the way America's going to roll in the foreseeable future. Is it going to be tomorrow? No, of course not. Will there be a Republican landslide in 2020? What is it? I guess 6? Yeah, I think so. 26 is going to be a Republican landslide. They're going to finally, somehow, some way, they're going to fix the steal the Democrats steal. Democrats are losing, lost, and soon to be forgotten party, guys. All right, we've had a lot of parties in the past. It's okay. It's okay. It can happen, right? Why continue to support something that is evil, that they're losers, right? So President Trump, like he used to say, I don't like losers. Right? So he used to, refer to John McCain that way. And everybody got so upset about that. But Trump knew a lot of things about John McCain, right? He knew a lot of things. And that's why he had a flag on his coffin that was wrinkly, right? Treason boy. So there's lots of people like that in our political realm right now. And a lot of you are like, why don't they go and arrest him? Because there's a political legal system that protects them, right? So that's what we're seeing. A lot of these people are going to go bye-bye, but we have to get rid of this protective system that they have, this deep state protective system. If that's not taken away, there'll be, the charge will be dropped, as we've seen for these people for years and years and years. Look how many things have come against the Clintons over the years. Those two knuckleheads should have been gone decades ago. But they have protection from the deep state, and protection extends to the point where if someone is revealing too much, they die. Right? They commit suicide. They're suicided. They commit suicided. Somebody kills them, and it made to look like suicide. There's lots of ways this is done. We've had James Files on. That was a shooter behind the fence. That was former military. That was basically brought on by George H.W. Bush to be part of an assassin team. And that assassin team, I asked him on my show the last time I had him on. He said yes. A lot of those people out there that are, trying to reveal, they get assassinated by our groups. All right, so it is, and they're all brainwashed into believing they're working for the U.S. government to protect the U.S. government, right? But they're protecting the deep state. So James Files woke up to it. It took him a while. He got God, and it's a beautiful thing, but most of them don't, guys. And there's still a lot of them out there. There's still a lot of them all over the world, and it's going to take time to get them all. But we have to get the legal system on our side and not against us, right? As long as that stays against us, is James Files still alive? Yeah. I had him on my show, 10 days ago, a couple weeks ago. So he's still alive. If he's not, I would know. I would know. They would tell me right away. All right. So we may, I don't know. We try to get the Trump team to take him on board, but I guess he's like one of many, right? So he's in line, I guess, to reveal. So that's the way this thing rolls, guys. There's a lot of information out there that has to be revealed, needs to be revealed, but can't be revealed because there's so much. And if you reveal some of that, then somebody's going to be exposed that shouldn't be exposed. That's part of revealing, and or someone finds out that the gig is up and they run, right? We want our net to go wide, and we want to scoop up a lot of them, right? And then when we scoop them up, we don't want them to get away with a corrupt judicial system. So we have to be a little bit more patient. All right, so as you guys can see, I'm in a different location in my house. So, that Jackson Browne song where they say, but when the last guitar's been packed away. So for me, it's when the last couch has been packed away, that I still want to play. So just make sure you get it all set to go before you come for my computer. So it's going to be a little bit longer, but, it's loadout is going good. It'll be good to move along because I think Florida's going to get a lot wet, a lot, right? I've noticed that for whatever reason, there's been a lot of rain. So everything's getting soaked, and the tide is just always up every day. It's like, how is that? The moon has cycles. It gets big, and the tides go up, and it gets small, and the tides go down. Not here in Florida recently, right? That's not good. That's not good. So good luck to you guys in Florida. All right, so there's going to be a lot of crazy stuff going on. We got like super heat waves, right? Some people are going to say they're the hottest ever. That's just going to go down. They're going to say that bullshit. But there are definitely some things that are going on. I'm going to present this one video. If you guys can't hear it, because some of these are coded not to be able to, play or something, I guess. So if this doesn't play, just let me know. But this guy, I like this guy, Tusi TV. He's in England in an undisclosed location, and he's revealing great information on Iran. He's obviously got some contacts, so he went from, I guess, 900, or I think the first time I started watching it was like 800 or something, and he's like 1.11, that angelic number. That's good. So he's got a lot of support from those of us that watch him. Hope he does well. So let me know if you guys can hear. He's going to talk about what's going on in Iran. This is backed up a little bit. He's been on for a little bit. He reveals all the time. He's got, like I said, contacts, and they're giving us some really good information.
Just came out that the campaign against the Republic of Iran is not over. Despite the ceasefire, the Israelis do not consider this matter closed. The conflict is not over. It's simply a ceasefire. This is not a peace deal between the two countries. So take that bill doesn't really necessarily mean that the Israelis have proactively and publicly launched these attacks on Iran right now. It could be anybody. It could be the Israelis helping others do it in Iran. Mossad could be helping the revolutionaries, or it could just be the revolutionaries themselves doing it.
All right, so the volume's turned up all the way on this. As you guys can see, the volume all the way up, right? I don't know why you can't get more. I have it turned up so it's booming on my end. If you can't hear it, sorry.
Now, we also now get confirmation that the Iran's enriched uranium stockpile has mostly been moved.
All right, so it's not very clear. So basically what he's talking about, the Iran enrichment, looks like they moved it, and they're going to continue. They're going to continue to enrich. That's what they're saying. So another thing is Khamenei has not been heard from for well over a day. So usually he posts quite often, every day, and we haven't heard from him in a while. No, I don't. When I remote view, I don't see him dead. I don't see him in an underground facility. So I don't know if he's been moved. Well, obviously he's been moved, and he moves around. But I don't know if he's been moved to another country or what. Maybe that's why President Trump feels confident enough to go to the NATO meeting in Europe and staying in the Dutch Palace in The Hague. I don't know. It may be that he's got, obviously, I believe, or he wouldn't have traveled. He would have stayed in the White House and ran the show. I always used closed caption for replays due to insufficient audio. Yeah. Well, they're closed, so they're unavailable. So anyway, there's for me. How do I turn mine on settings? Well, I'll do that later. I'm like in StreamYard, running from StreamYard. I don't even have my YouTube up. So anyway, this thing is not over. So my take on this, guys, if this guy doesn't get replaced soon, if the people of Iran don't wake up, I know they're awake, but if they don't really root this guy out and his administration, and they just continue the show, I think we might see nukes. I think we're going to see nukes, right? It's going to be it's getting down to the point where if we don't see this regime get replaced by the people, And if it gets replaced by the people, there's no one's going to object to that. The Chinese aren't going to object to that. The Russians aren't going to object to that. We're obviously not going to object to that. The Israelis absolutely better not object to that. So that is that's what it's going to be. So wonder which Trump is operating. Yeah, there's definitely different Trumps out there. Now they're all aligned to God energy. They're doing the same thing, but they have different people that are moving around, because obviously his life is in a massive jeopardy. So I don't know. We'll see. I think I've seen different. A lot of people talked about there's different Trumps out there. So no big deal, guys. That's the way it is. The man needs to be protected. So, and some people think that the real Trump was taken out long ago. Maybe, but whatever Trump is here is obviously a good Trump. So don't get so bent out of shape on that. It'll make your head spin, and then you won't stay on point to what we need to be doing. Right. So the royal upgrade: Trump will stay at the Dutch King's palace during his NATO visit. So in the Netherlands, The Hague, that's where the NATO summit is being. 32 leaders of NATO on Wednesday. So tomorrow they'll be getting together, and we'll see what happens. So he's probably going to sleep in a very nice, comfy bed, right? I've slept in some very comfy beds. I've been in a lot of palaces as a security guy. They take care of their security guys, all right? We keep them alive. So we get treated very well. We get very good food. And although we stay up a lot and we move a lot, and for me, it was easy because I'm intuitive and I'm used to with a combat mindset. So I can be very observant. It doesn't wear me out. Most people it wears them out. For me, I'm observant right now. I see so much going on around me on so many different levels. So Trump is no stranger to a royal visit in 2019. He dropped into Windsor Castle for tea with Queen Elizabeth II. Right? Remember how he walked in front of her? Oh yeah. So I think the new king that's coming up, Prince William, is going to be much better, guys. Much better. So being in the Netherlands, I have memories, past life memories. I was Harold Fairhair, and you'll be like, you don't even have any hair, Mike. What are you talking about? You don't always have hair in every life. Come on. But I had some good hair back then. So I was the first king of Norway, and I have lots of memories of that. I love my Viking lifetimes. I remember I've done a lot of courses over the years, and I had this one event, and this one guy that I was working with for a while. He came to the event, and he knew that he was a Viking too, and we actually found some of his Japanese lives where he was an emperor and a warrior emperor, and it looked exactly like him today. Very cool when you see that. So Harold Fairhair, he was a warrior, and so we're talking about our Viking lifetimes, and I think one of the ladies was like, "You guys must feel really bad for having been so violent in those lifetimes," and we both looked at each other and we're like, "No, we liked it." No, we liked it. All right, so and that's kind of the way I felt in this life too. All right. So another one was the French king who conquered England, William the Conqueror. So I've been a Viking in many lifetimes. So like I said, I like it. I like it a lot. And my wife was there too. So she's a little Viking girl, little shield maven. She's laughing, she's giggling. She liked it too. All right, Israel embarrassed by Trump's furious F-bomb tirade at ceasefire violation. All right, so he dropped the F-bomb. He dropped it pretty good, and because you should see Mike when he gets pissed. So that F-bomb really just flows off my lips. All right, so It was so bad. I remember one time I was in the on the grinder at Bud's. I was leading PT, and I had a way of motivating people, right? And so I'm doing push-ups, and everybody's not keeping up, or I'm doing whatever it was, cross arm sit-ups. I did like 1,000 plus a class number. A lot of guys couldn't do it, but they worked up to it. I started with 200. I started with 100, then 250, then 500, then 750, then 1,000, then their class number. So over a period of time. So you adapt. The body adapts. But some people need motivation, and that F-bomb would flow, and it would be like every other word. You effers, you better effing start pushing harder, dig deep, you effers, and effing dig deep, and on and on and on. So the commanding officer, the captain, he sent word down for me to he had some people there in the office, and he needed me to calm down. So I was like, Roger that. All right, class, let's take you to the beach. So there's a podium on the beach. So I went down there and hammered them. So it is a good word when you need it, right? I don't always use it, and obviously Trump doesn't always use it, but when he wants to get a point across, obviously he'll revert to the F-bomb, right? So that's what he did. You can look it up. One of our friends had Trump saying the F over and over. All right. He says it good too. I'm like, good job. That's because that's a power word for me. And when Trump said it, I was like, yeah, we must be of the same lineage, right? In that realm. So I know Trump's been look at him. Look at him. He's a Viking. He's still got Viking in him. It's great. I love it. All right. So Trump, you don't have to be mauling people. There's other ways to do it, right? Other than physically doing it. Me, you, and him are Scottish. That's right. Silver pump. Trump waives executive privilege protection for Biden aide ahead of cognitive fitness hearings. So they're drilling in. They want to find out that Biden guy, that Biden imposter, and just like, you guys, we put him there, but the White Hats put him there. But now they're going to hold him accountable for it because they worked around him and used him and so forth. So ex-White House Staff Secretary and Director of the Domestic Policy Council, Neera Tanden, was told that executive privileges is not justified. So she tried to throw that flag out there, and just didn't work. One of the attorneys came back and said, the president authorizes you, directs you pretty much, authorizes you to provide unrestricted testimony to the House Oversight Committee, irrespective of potential privilege. All right, so we're drilling in on these people, guys. It is happening. There's no wiggle room for a lot of them anymore. They're basically being put in the spotlight, and like the roaches they are, they try and run, but there's just too much light, and somebody stepped on them, right? So. And that's the way that is, and then flushes them down the toilet, right? All right, so hopefully this one comes through. I will share this one, and if it doesn't, then I guess I'll talk this one too, right? Daniel 8. Now remember this: Daniel 8 prophecy fulfilled between USA and Iran tonight. So when we flew that flight, it fulfilled a prophecy.
Got time. Watch this. Breaking Daniel 8 prophecy fulfilled. This is the biggest revelation you're ever going to hear in your entire existence. Please listen to me. Maybe one of the most important. Daniel chapter 8 talks about the goat and the ram. Please listen. You're going to see this fulfilled in real time. Watch this. Starting in chapter 8, verse 3. I raised my eyes and saw, behold, a ram on the bank of the canal. It had two horns. Both were high, but one was higher than the other. The higher one came up last. I saw the ram charging west, north, and south, and no beast could stand before him. There was no one who could rescue from his power.
North and south. Where did Trump put flags up, and at what? How high? 88 feet. Daniel 8 prophecy. Now I'm going to show you guys how the deep state uses the number 8 in a negative way. Yes, that's right, Dottie, north and south. So I guess you guys can see. If you can't hear it, at least you can read it. So read a little bit. I know it's hard for some of you, but try and keep up.
As he pleased and became great. As I was considering, behold, a male goat came from the west across the face of the whole earth without touching the ground. The goat had his feet. Okay, so this goat came from the west, right? And so that's where America is, depending on how the flights were. So they flew from west to east, right? So they came from the west, and they did not touch the ground. So this is one of the key things in this prophecy, where there's no touching the ground, right? No touching the ground. Numerology and astrology is very, very important, right? So if you're a millionaire, you don't pay attention to numerology and astrology. If you're a billionaire, which I'm not, but someday maybe, because I'm paying attention to numerology and astrology, billionaires pay attention to numerology and astrology, guys. Right? So it's legit. They want to dumb everybody down so they don't recognize it, so that they can have everything. Right? Not all the people with money and power, of course, and Trump is a good example. Notable horn between times. He came to the ring with two horns, which I saw standing on the bank of the canal, and he ran at him with this powerful weapon. I saw him come close to the ring. He was engaged against him. He struck the ring and broke his two horns. The ram had no power to stand before him. Was cast. All right, so he came and broke the ram's horns. So that's, you guys can go look at that if you want. It's very good. Bobby the Disciple. All right, awesome stuff. So 8, the number 8. Are you ready for a deep dive? Come on. You gotta be ready. Coconut water with pineapple. The real Trump. That's right. All right. Let's look at what's going on. Trump installs pair of 88-foot-tall new flagpoles at the White House. Now, if you go to the BBC, they're going to say they're 100 feet. Of course, there's probably some that's down to the ground, but they're not going to say it because BBC is deep state too, right? Just like CNN and all those, mainstream media types, right? So Trump installs a pair of 88-foot-tall new flagpoles at the White House. Massive new flagpoles hoisting the United States flag. He paid for them himself. Didn't come out of taxpayer funds, right? Taxpayers don't pay his salary. He does not take the salary. He donates it every quarter. So he says they cost $50,000 each, and Trump said he paid out of his own pocket to install the poles. Right? When asked what gave him the idea to install the flagpoles, Trump said he first considered the flags during his first term, but blamed distractions caused by the media for getting in the way. I was the hunted. Now I'm the hunter. That's an interesting choice of words, right? Yeah. You can see him with a big sword, can you? Slashing baddies. All right, so that's where you used to handle savages. We can't do that now, but it's too bad. But there's other ways to take down the savages and expose them. All right, expose them, and then maybe people rise up and, like they're probably going to do in Iran, they better, right? If they don't do it in Iran, then I don't know. Maybe there's going to be some nuke activity, right? So let's keep our fingers crossed that, and send them love, that the people of Iran rise up and get rid of their problem.
I don't know. All right, so I'm going to show another video of Lake Tahoe. So Lake Tahoe, and you're just going to see the video. It's windy. It's you know, this is a place that I've been to. It's down on the south end of Lake Tahoe. So a huge storm came in. Huge storm came in. All right, so you can see all the. It looks pretty crazy. I used to do courses where I would take people out for several days. We would hike up in the mountains and go to the waterfalls, and then at the end, I would bring them to this place, and we'd have a nice dinner. Of course, I was paying for it. They paid for it, of course, but out of what they paid me, I covered the bill. But see all these boats that are like washed up? So something strange happened. The wind came in and blew 8 foot waves. 8 foot waves. And then, while this is all going on, as you can see, boats are breaking their moorings, crashing into the shore. 8 foot waves. And then it starts to snow. It starts to snow. And this is, see all the snow? See the snow coming down? So this is summer. And it, you know, it does happen. Usually still in the early state, like in May maybe, but June, summer, very rare. Very rare, right? See if I get at that point where it's like showing the snow better. There it is. You can see the snow coming down there. So that's kind of wacky, isn't it? That's a little wacky. All right, so 8 foot waves. And remember that number 8. That number 8 is going to be very important. Trump you know how Trump likes to point things out, right? 88-foot flag poles, north and south. So we have here from the BBC, come back. They're dissing me. All right. So basically, guys, what happened? There were 8 people that died on Lake Tahoe. This is the first in history. First time in history. First time that anyone, I've lived there for many years, I never saw any crazy waves like that. This storm came in. There was supposed to be inclement weather, but nothing like that. And it just came in and did that. 8 people died on Lake Tahoe. And, you know, maybe one here, one there, every 5 or 6 years or more, a lot more than that. It's very rare for anyone to die in Lake Tahoe. But number 8, and I looked it up. And there was lots of information on the number 8. So in Europe, if you go back, and for whatever reason, my all the stuff I brought up is not coming up now. All the stuff about the number 8, how about that? Is just vanished off my my list of stuff. How about that? I bring it up, but it's like whoop. So just as I was about to present it, it went away. All right. So we know how this works, but I can still talk about it. You Luciferian bastards. All right. So we will know them. We will know them, right? By the things they're revealed. You know, they're like into numbers and all that kind of stuff. And it's one of those things. They can't control themselves. They're addicted to it. Right? And it's gonna. So for us, you know, 8 is like a, you know, Maui fires on my. Look at that. Maui fires on the 8th. And get behind the 8 ball, right? You guys are good. I got a lot more for you. All right. Destiny number 8. The number 8. So there's good things in number 8, and there's bad things. Just like there's 666, which is supposed to be love, and of course that's bad for if the baddies use it. So the number 8 numerology is not considered to be the number of extremes. The number is powerful to the extent that it will show you the best or the worst of your life in the blink of an eye. The number 8 is ruled by Saturn. Who do the Satanists? What planet do they like? Saturn. Saturn is a planet that makes its native work hard and also learns the lessons the hard way. They may have to face hardships in life, but this makes them more sincere and determined towards achieving their goals in life. The hurdles they face in life polishes them overall. The life struggles of the natives of number 8 make them learn this from childhood. As we know, the demon families like to punish their children in very bad ways. So it says numerology 8 has not earned a very good reputation. The number 8 is looked upon as a number of sorrows, misery, struggle, and death. The ruler of this number, Saturn, is ruthless and does not let you have anything easy. You have to struggle for it, work for it, and only then you get it. So that's the way they look at Saturn number 8, right? So let's look at the Saturnian black cube. So I had a very nice little video that I was going to show you guys, but obviously they're not working. So let's look at the black cube. And of course, that just went away. What the heck? Wow. Well, reload it. It won't even reload. What in the absolute? Good God. Yeah, even my history, I can't reload it. So there's let me see if I can just pull up a window and just write it in. Black cube. Yeah, something screwy with my computer. All right, so that's not coming up. But anyway, there's black cubes in all of the financial districts of the world, all around the world, right? And there's some in other places. Of course, there's some in California and so forth. Yeah, gremlins are in here, right? Yeah, being Saturn at it again. So BlackRock, the number 1, company in the world, they have all this information, and it's just what it is. So the truth behind Saturn, the death cult. Known for its obsession with a black cube and rituals surrounding Saturn, this group has hidden practices that go deep into the unknown, but we're knowing them, right? We're knowing them. In this, we're going to look at the sinister nature of the occult, dark worship of the planet, and the occult connection that ties it all together. So it's just going to play. It's not even going to play. So my stuff is just got. They're like, oh, you think you're going to show that everything that I have now is gone? God, it sucks. It's all gone. All right, numerology's meaning, life path number, angel number, and more. Let's see if this one comes up. It just went away too. It pulls up and then it goes blank. So black hat. And then there's the Jews that have that little black cube that they wear, those little trinkets on their the priest or whatever. So in Brazil, I'll just look at them because if I pull them up, they're going to disappear. So in Brazil, there were 8 people that died in a hot air balloon accident, right? So they burned up, right? So this balloon basically just exploded and just went right down to the ground. And all the people that were on board, all 8 of them, all died. Right? Trump threatens most lethal weapons ever built if Iran given nukes. So we had Iran, getting their nukes knocked out, and then Russia came in and said, Medvedev said, well, maybe we'll give them nukes. And then Trump is like, we will unleash the most powerful weapon ever known in the earth and ever built. The most powerful nuke ever built. And that's why Putin's in charge. So remember Putin took over from Medvedev. I think it's Medvedev. Yep. So because I guess he was too hardcore. must have been left over from the Nazis, right? That took over. All right. So Israel-Iran war, day 11. Trump says Iran and Israel to have a phased-in ceasefire. So this one, I guess, will come up. Anything that I had on Saturn, guys, gone. Right? How about that? Wow. So yeah, Trump is. I think he's playing them. They have to stay online. Yeah, it's 555. How about that, Tracy Joe Jago? And so they basically make it so if you get out of line, we're going to expose you. And I think that's what's been happening. So I just saw another article where in LA there are troops. They didn't say what troops, whether it was National Guard or Marines or what, that were doing drug arrests 120 miles from LA. Right? So Trump is like they're just like hammering that area, right? So they're staying just below the radar, although somebody took notice of it and is putting it out there. So we're going to continue to see this. I think we're going to see more of the deep state getting taken down in those cities as fast as they can do it before they start getting out of line. At some point, they're going to get out of line. And, is it going to be the deep state bubbas? They're going to do riots and stuff. That's kind of what I saw. But, if we go nuke, if we go in some kind of nuclear confrontation, we could see American cities get nuked. And I haven't seen that, but, somehow these big cities go bye-bye, right? I see them devastated and empty. So I just assume analytically that, there's going to be conflict in them, but there could also be nukes, right? 8-foot waves, lots left. Maybe they were 7. Maybe Kevin, but they put it out there as 8, and they control the press. So, I don't think anybody was out there with measuring tape hitting it, but maybe. So, maybe somebody assumed there was a deep state guy out there who's like, yeah, you guys did the weather good out here. Good job. So we'll make it and focus it right here because there's a boat with a lot of pretty women on it and they're all going to drown. We'll make sure of that. Right. So that's is Kevin a troll or a clown? Probably both. Right. Probably one of each. And so we'll see more trolling and clownishness before we get to the end. That's what keeps a lot of this going, guys. Trolling and clowns, and it makes things exciting for the rest of us, right? So, look at that. Look at Nancy Pelosi. She's such a clown. She's such a clown, and or whoever's playing her, or whoever was playing. Joe Biden, what a clown. What a clown who's falling up the stairs. And so tripping upstairs constantly. And he couldn't get his words together and was like trying to shake people's hands that weren't there, and he would just wander off. Somebody played him really good. I liked it. It was like, that's such a good clown show. I bet a lot of the dum-dems are waking up, and if they don't, they're not going to anyway. We could take a shovel and hit them in the face with a shovel, and still wouldn't wake them up. They'd be like, what was that? Like, that was a shovel to wake you up. Nothing's going to wake me up. Okay, thanks for information. So, and they'll be in the big cities. They'll be in big cities, and that's probably unfortunate for them, but that's they're NPCs. NPCs don't really have a soul, I guess. I don't know. All right, guys, lots of love. And they wiped my A.E. That's the Democrats love slaves, and that's why they want the illegal aliens here. All the way back to the Civil War, all the way back to Atlantis. They've always liked slaves. And so if they can't have slaves, they're gonna whine and cry and try and make you feel bad because you don't agree with their slavery rights. They have rights to slavery, right? To make people slaves. I don't care if you don't make $12, $15 an hour. I could pay somebody half that. That's kind of like slavery. All right. So, and that's what they want. They want slavery. And if they can't get it, then they're going to riot. And that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. All right. All right, guys. Lots of love. Stay in the love vibration. And we'll keep giving you information as it comes up. I did a round table last night. I got another round table tonight. So we're going to keep a lot of information, rolling out there. It's good pickings for information out there right now. So we got a lot to talk about. All right. Talk to you later.